Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. In this video I'm going to show you some easy trash to treasure upcycles, so let's get started. These are some of the items I'll be using along with a few thrifted things. I started by sanding a small wood round. I then drilled a hole in the bottom of a small tin can. Next, I used E6000 and a small screw to attach the can to the wood. I added the screw for an extra hold. I then added a small wood disc to the bottom of the can and then glued a metal hanging candle holder upside down into the can. Next, I glued on a curved resin piece that I had previously made onto the tin can using E6000. I then added a clay bead detail over the edge of the can to cover where the two pieces are glued. I also added a clay rope detail around the wood base along with some more resin pieces. After the clay was dry, I added some dimensional paint to the negative spaces on the tin can. I then gave it a couple of coats of paint. I lost the footage for the final step, but all I did was add some gold wax to highlight the clay pieces. For the next project, I started by drilling a hole into a metal lid. I then flipped the lid over and used E6000 and a small screw to attach the lid to a small wood round. Next, I used more E6000 and glued a broken spout from a watering can onto the metal lid and then set it aside to dry. When the glue was dry, I gave it a coat of paint. I then used copper patina over the entire thing and glued in some metal photo holders. In hindsight, I should have glued the photo holders to the spout before I glued it to the lid. For this project, I'm using a couple of empty paint cans. I started by drilling a hole in each side of the can and also drilling some holes into the bottom. I then cut down a couple of chair spindles and drilled a hole through the center of each one. You could use wood spools as well, but I didn't have any. Next, I gave them a couple of coats of paint. When the paint was dry, I used some IOD stamps to stamp some images on. I then glued some resin pieces on. Next, I painted all the resin pieces. To finish it, I added a piece of wire through the spindle piece and then attached it to the can and planted it with flowers. For the next project, I started by making some resin pieces and then taping them around my tin can so they would be curved when they were cured. I then glued them on using E6000. I also glued some wood pieces to the bottom for feet. Once the glue was dry, I gave it a coat of paint. I then added copper patina to all the resin pieces. To finish it, I just added a Dollar Tree vase. For my final project, I'm using this Birdcage candle holder. I tried to remove the candle holder from the bottom, but it was attached fairly well and I didn't want to break the cage, so I opted to add something over the top of it. I didn't have a wood round to fit and I didn't want to go out and buy one, so instead I used a cookie tin lid. The lid had the cookie design stamped into it, so I rolled out some air dry clay and glued that over the design so it would have a smooth appearance. Once I glued the clay on, I added a beaded detail around the edge. I then glued a small wood round into the candle holder so I would have a bigger gluing surface and then glued the lid onto the wood round. Once the glue was dry, I gave it a coat of paint, and then this project was done. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed these Trash to Treasure projects, and I'll see you in the next video.